Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Yue Eats. I'm Yue, and yeah, we're gonna do another declining, dying chain review this time. And for all you guys based in the Northeast, do you guys remember Friendly's by any chance? I'm not sure if they had this outside of the Northeast, but at least where I grew up in the tri-state area, New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York, Delaware, that area, Friendly's was definitely pretty common, at least in New Jersey. So yeah, this here is Friendly's, and yeah, it's kind of a nice building, but not really anyone here. Pretty empty. Lunchtime, I know it's a weekday, but yeah, not a lot of business. So I guess that's not really a surprise, Otherwise, it wouldn't be on this series, this declining chain series, because Friendly's has definitely seen better days. It's definitely fallen quite a bit from grace. There's not many locations now, and I really had to go out of my way to find one. Like I had to drive maybe about 45 minutes to get to one, and the one that I found is not really in a good location. It's kind of next to a pretty busy highway. They even had to put up a big sign, next to the busy highway to tell people, hey, if you want to eat at Friendly's, turn here. So if you're not familiar with Friendly's, you can think of Friendly's as kind of like a diner. Like it's like a diner, but like a big emphasis on being family friendly. Hence, even the name, Friendly's. A big emphasis on being a friendly place and a family friendly place. Although the location near me, ironically, I think I sometimes had some kind of snappy service, and ironically, I used to joke and call the place Unfriendly's back in the day, like that was my joke. But anyways, I'm sure that was just my location, and I'm sure it was just anecdotal because, yeah, I mean, that's their whole brand, that they're like a family-friendly place. So, I mean, the one near where I grew up closed, so yeah, no surprise to me that Friendly's isn't doing well, and yeah, I wonder what the state of Friendly's is now. So we're gonna eat at Friendly's, see how the food is. I'm sure I have some nostalgia, but I'm also older now. I'm no longer in middle school or elementary school, so I'm sure I'm a different person. I have different tastes, and yeah, we'll see how much of what I remember about Friendly's is nostalgia. We'll see how the food is, and in particular, Friendly's is also known for their ice cream. Like, you've probably seen the Friendly's ice cream being sold in supermarkets, and even this building, plug in their ice cream right there. They have like a ice cream cone right there as part of their like identity to showcase to the world. So yeah, I mean, it's really cold out. It's not really a great day for ice cream, but perhaps when we warm up inside, we'll be more in the mood. So let's check it out. Oh man, so cold. Ah yes, just table for one. All right guys, so we are now inside Friendly's, and I haven't been inside one of these in a while. I think the one near me used to look different, but I do kind of remember some of the wallpaper or like paintings they have on the walls with like the Friendly's artwork and pictures and font and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit sad. I know we're in the middle of the week, but there's literally no one in here. So yeah, I guess the chain has definitely seen better days. I wonder if they're more busy during the weekends or the weeknights perhaps, but I was at least expecting to see a couple people in here, maybe at least one or two, but it's literally just me. But it does look kind of cool. Like, it does look like an old-fashioned diner. It's really cold though, so I might get a coffee at least. So real quick.
Do you know what you're gonna have here?
Not yet, but do you mind if I do you have coffee?
We have coffee.
Hot coffee, just one. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we'll be having ice cream later, but it is chilly out, so I gotta get something warm. But let's take a look at the menu real quick. And yeah, they're still trying to establish this place as like a family-friendly place, like a good place for kids, which it was when I was a kid, beyond like occasional snappy waiters back in the day. And yeah, and as we can see, ice cream, still a big thing here. Sundaes and shakes and things like that. So we'll definitely get some ice cream after we warm up. And they even have a whole extensive ice cream menu here. Maybe a banana split sounds up my alley. I haven't had one of those in maybe 20 years. Whenever I see a banana split, I think of that Winnie the Pooh episode where Tigger says, "A banana split and a pogo stick." I don't know, does that ring a bell for anyone? But, so just take a look at the menu. Oh look, snap dab in the middle there. Lunch combo. served until 3 p.m. for just 10 bucks. That is a steal. This is like, wow. This is like a lunch combo that harkens back to like my childhood. Like this is like a, you know, like a 2000s era lunch combo. Today a lunch combo is like 15 bucks. But yeah, it looks like you get 2 items. You get a soup or you get a salad. I'm guessing that $100,000 Cobb salad, I'm guessing that's just the name of the salad. Otherwise, for 10 bucks, you're getting something with a $100,000 value. And how could I say no to that? But all kidding aside, yeah, they also have like half sandwiches here. And I was originally gonna get a burger because I remember sort of liking the burgers when I was at least back during my childhood. I mean, for sure, I was a kid, but I remember liking the burgers back then. Maybe I just had, you know, poor taste back in the day. But I wonder which of these are burgers. Looks like we got a legendary honey barbecue super melt. Is that like a patty melt or something? Or I'm not really sure what that is. But maybe that's a burger. Maybe it's like a honey barbecue like patty melt or something. And then there's a turkey club and a grilled cheese and a BLT. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to say no to this lunch combo. Oh, and then down here they have senior meals. Yeah, they have a whole section here for senior meals. Yeah, well, it's good that they offer all these options, you know? A lot of options geared towards senior citizens. So I guess they're trying to appeal to very young and also people more senior. But yeah, we took a look at this part here. I showed you guys like the burger real quick. But some of these I thought looked like items I saw on the senior menu, but I could be mistaken. And then more soups and salads, you know, clam chowder, chicken noodle, that 100K Cobb salad, quesadillas, wings. Yeah, a lot of this doesn't look too different from my memory, to be honest. They got a pastrami super melt, so I guess super melt is just like their melted sandwich. It's not like a patty melt or something. And then there is a legendary honey barbecue chicken super melt. But it looks like this is a chicken tender sandwich, and they're calling it legendary, so maybe I'll let them, you know, put their money where their mouth is and see if it really is legendary. So maybe we'll just get that, because that looks kind of nice. You know, especially when they use vague yet delicious sounding adjectives like country breaded. Fishamajig? Oh, fishamajig. I thought that was like Japanese at first, like fishamaji or something. Fishamajig super melt. That's like a fish one, I guess, and a Philly cheesesteak and things like that. Yeah, there's their patty melt. Actually, it looks like that's new. It's a new item, so they didn't have a patty melt until recently. And then, yeah, this is their burger section. And yeah, I mean, the price difference, it looks like even a single for these burgers is about like 13, 14, 15 bucks. So we're here for lunch, so we may as well get that super affordable $10 lunch deal. So we'll do that. We'll do an ice cream, and then let's order. Maybe broccoli cheddar soup and legendary honey barbecue super melt, and then we will get an ice cream from this menu. So let's order. First a sip though of the hot coffee. I'm ready.
What can I get you?
Okay, so I'll do this $10 lunch combo. Pretty good price in this economy. I'll do a broccoli cheddar soup. And then the handheld, I'll do the honey barbecue super melt.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's just 2 items, right? All right, so I'll do that for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. A $10 meal. I mean, can't say no to that these days. So cheap. I mean, this might be one of my cheapest ever videos I've ever made then. I mean, actually, the coffee's not bad, to be honest. I mean, obviously this isn't like, you know, coffee that's gonna blow you away. It's, you know, it's just coffee from Friendly's, but yeah, definitely solid. It doesn't just taste like an instant coffee. Actually, a pretty decent, solid quality coffee. Like one that I would definitely be okay with had I just gone to like a neighborhood diner. So let's add some creamer to this guy. And yeah, while we wait for our food, I just want to say from like a personal anecdote standpoint, Friendly's for me, like kind of has like a special place in my heart. Cause you know, growing up, you know, I'm Asian American. So growing up in a Asian household, in my case, like a Chinese household. And I know for you guys hearing this, I mean, I got this all the time growing up, like, hey, you know, eating Chinese food every day, that must be like heaven on earth. But you get tired of it, you know, eating the same cuisine every day, the same kind of cuisine. So, you know, me and my siblings, we would get tired of it, and then we would ask my mom, we would like beg my mom, can we go to Friendly's tonight? Can we please go to Friendly's? And you know, she would always say no, but every once in a while, she would cave and say yes. And it was great, just to have that change up. Like, I don't know if the food was actually outstanding or not, but it was just nice to have something novel and different. I guess for many of you guys who grew up in non-Asian households, like more of like a American household, maybe you were eating like American food at home, and then you would probably do the opposite. You would beg your mom, "Mom, can we please have Chinese food tonight? Can we please eat Chinese food tonight?" And yeah, so I guess, you know, maybe it was like reversed. It was like flipped for you guys. Let's see if the food comes soon. All right, guys, our $10 lunch special is here, and yeah, now I see why it's 10 bucks, because it's not really much. So it's a soup and half a sandwich. So in this case, that is the broccoli cheddar soup, and yeah, it's in a small cup. I don't necessarily mind that. It is a cup of soup after all, and the soup does not look bad, if you ask me. And I gotta say that this legendary chicken tender melt, or whatever it's called, I gotta say that this sandwich actually looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know if it's that the place is pretty empty, so they have lots of time to put lots of effort into the sandwich, or yeah, like maybe without many customers, they can spend a lot of time to make it really good, but it actually looks like a pretty good sandwich if you ask me. Like this isn't even just my nostalgia talking. I've never had this sandwich before in my life. I don't even know if they had it when I was a child, but this actually genuinely looks like a good sandwich. Like it's got like a grilled cheese bread on top, and the bread looks really nicely golden, buttery, and crispy, and nice glisten. The chicken looks well sauced and looks really, really appetizing. I guess maybe it would be nice if that cheese on the bottom were more melted. Although I guess it's cheddar cheese. I guess cheddar doesn't really melt too easily, but no, that sandwich looks totally respectable. So first let's take a sip real quick of the soup. Steaming hot on a cold day. Let's try adding some seasoning, because I think it kind of needs some seasoning, at least some salt. There's some good stuff going on here, but some salt is lacking, and maybe some pepper would help too. Okay. Okay, now let's give this a try. Oh, that did it. That did it. It was just lacking in salt, and I actually wonder if that was intentional. Like, I wonder if they had a whole section for senior citizen food items, so, you know, maybe they kind of have an older demographic at this point, both very young and very old, so maybe they cut back on the salt due to people with hypertension, so they let you salt it at the table, and in this case, you add some salt, and it's actually quite nice. Before, it tasted definitely kind of bland, like without the salt and also the pepper, but both the salt and the pepper lifts it way more. Like, it brings out more of the, you know, the cheesy flavor, like the savory flavor going with the broccoli. The pepper also helps, like the pepper adds like a little bit of spice to also make the flavor of the soup not so one-dimensional. And they got decent chunks of broccoli all over this guy. Let me, you know, drain some of the cheese, but yeah, they got like chunks of broccoli, not just like, you know, like little specks here and there so they can call it broccoli cheddar soup. They got like definitely decent chunks of broccoli in here. It's a decently balanced soup, especially once you season it yourself, and yeah, I'm digging this for sure. And I like the consistency too. Like, I hate when like broccoli cheddar soups are too cheesy. Like, it's basically almost like you're drinking like a light cheese sauce. Like, this is definitely like a soup. It's definitely a soup, you know, like just look at the consistency. It's definitely a soup first and then cheesy next. So, you know, this is for sure a solid soup. And now time for the legendary chicken melt. They call this chicken sandwich legendary. They should call this cheese soup legendary. Like legendary, like dairy, you know, like because it's cheese. Enough chat. This one has cheese too, so maybe this one will be legendary as well. And yeah, look at that. Beautifully grilled cheese bread on both ends. And let's give this a try. Check out that cross section. Oop. R.I.P. to the fallen bacon. So sad. But honestly, guys, I mean, this sandwich is genuinely, like, objectively pretty solid. You know, obviously it's not amazing, it's not great. I mean, it still tastes like something you would get from like a chain restaurant, but honestly, this sandwich is genuinely pretty good. It pretty much tastes exactly the way it looks. I mean, you know, the bread is like, I mean, kind of just like grilled cheese. Like, it's buttered and grilled, and let me see if you can hear the sound. I don't know if you can hear it, but basically, like it's a little crispy. It's not like oily and soggy like, you know, sad grilled cheese sandwiches that we've all had. And it's on the bottom too, and remarkably, even though like it was on the plate, sometimes that makes the bottom kind of soggy, you know, just from like the, buildup of steam. The bottom, like it just says something about the crispiness, that the bottom is still, you know, still relatively crisp despite touching the plate while being hot. The tenders are well coated in the sauce. Like, you know, they're really saucy. They're like perfectly sauced, if that makes sense. Like take a look. I mean, we've all had like saucy tenders or like a saucy like buffalo wings or something where like they might taste good, but they're so saucy and, you know, sort of too much a little bit in that regard. But look at this. These tenders are perfectly sauced. They're perfectly coated. The chicken is well cooked too. Like, you know, it's well cooked. It's not overcooked. Sometimes at these chain restaurants, they really overcook the chicken, probably because, you know, like they're big chains, they don't want to risk even remotely getting anyone sick, but they overcook it to heck, and it's totally not necessary. But in this case, the chicken is cooked like, it's cooked to a good doneness, where it's still sort of juicy and it kind of tastes nice. The cheese tastes nice, like the melted cheese, like it is actually slightly melted, even though it's not like melty and stringy. I mean, it's cheddar after all. It's not gonna melt too much. And the bacon adds like some crisp, it adds like some extra oiliness, it adds some saltiness, some texture and crunch, some like extra fatty, savory flavor, and yeah, like the bacon is nice too. Like look at this nice crispy bacon, look. See, look at this nice crispy bacon. I like when bacon's crispy. I don't like when it's too soft, personally. I know some people don't like when bacon's too crispy. Some people think that bacon is best when it's more soft, but I personally like it when it's kind of crispy, especially in a sandwich, because when it's crispy, it can, you know, really amplify the texture. Yeah, I did it. I just broke down a Friendly's sandwich, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this. This was great. I only wish it were bigger, but at least it's very thoroughly stuffed. Yeah, but with how small this is, I kind of want to review something else. So maybe let's try one of the burgers. Hello.
Hi, Rocky Balboa?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Maybe just a standard All-American burger will do the trick. So a single All-American burger, $13.29. Yeah, that burger alone is going to be more expensive than my $10 lunch special. So let's give it a try.
I saw you on the phone, I didn't want to come over.
Nah, you're good, you're good. Let me also try the, I just want to try it. I'm gonna finish this, but let me also try the All-American burger single.
You want cheese?
Yes.
Okay, and it comes with french fries, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. Still so lonely. Excellent, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
All right, so now we got a burger, and I remember getting this burger many times growing up, and let's see how it is. All right, so this is the burger, the All-American burger, and yeah, actually the bun looks a little bit big. It looks like, you know, it looks like someone wearing like way too big of a hat, you know, for their head. Like it's a really small patty for a very big bun. I know I only got a single, not a double, but you know, but still, it kind of looks like, do any of you guys watch The Simpsons or used to? You know the rich Texan, or you know how like Cowboys fans, grr, Eagles fan here, but you know how like sometimes you see like Cowboys fans wear those like super big, you know, what are they called? Like 10-gallon hats or whatever? Yeah, it's kind of like that. But to be honest, the quality of the bread, like the, I think this is like a brioche bun. Yeah, I mean, the bread looks better. I remember when I was a kid, it was just some like generic bread, like probably some like supermarket quality bread even. And yeah, the veggies look pretty fresh. The cheese looks very well melted, and that looks like some, I don't know, at least from this angle, it looks like some fresh beef. Like it looks like it's, you know, with how not uniform it looks, I'm guessing that's fresh beef and it's not pre-frozen or something. So, and for the price of 13 bucks, we get a bunch of fries too. So it's really, it's not a terrible deal. I guess first let's try one of the fries. Okay. Whoa, no, I'm just kidding. They're just ordinary French fries. I mean, they're solid ones, but they're just like, you know, ordinary pre-frozen fries, I'm pretty sure, which is okay, you know. I mean, this is Friendly's. It's not, you know, it's not like we're going to like a super gourmet spot. At a diner, you would get something similar. But let's try the burger. Let's see how this burger compares. Looks like they even cut it in half, I guess, to make sure it cooks through, I guess. Let's try this burger. Sweet Caroline. Oh, oh, oh. No, that was actually pretty solid. I mean, I know on this channel we've eaten some pretty solid burgers, like some pretty fancy spots, and you know, obviously I'm not gonna put it up there with them, but I mean, definitely one of the better like chain burgers I've had for sure. I mean, definitely better than like a burger I would get at like Applebee's or something. Let me show you. Like, yeah, okay, I mean, there's nothing to it. You know, I just ordered like the standard burger, the American burger. So, you know, just like your backyard burger, just lettuce, tomato, onion, American cheese, and, you know, patty, and then bun, in this case, brioche bun. I actually was wrong to say that I felt like the patty was too small. I feel like it's actually a good size, especially because the bread kind of really squishes flat, like the puffy brioche bun, like as you grasp it. So it's actually a pretty good ratio, I would say. But yeah, no, everything is pretty fresh. I mean, just look at the lettuce. I mean, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but the lettuce is pretty fresh. Everything tastes like fresh ingredients. The onion, the cheese is like well melted. You know, American cheese is often the best call when it comes to burgers because it's pretty much like designed, engineered to melt. Like people say like, boo, American cheese is not real cheese. Well, that's fine. I mean, American cheese was invented just to be meltable, and you know, the sooner you accept that, the sooner we can all go on with our lives. I mean, the execution of the burger too, you know, like they've grilled the buns, you know, so not only do you get that crispiness, but it also kind of protects the bun from getting soggy from juices that will inevitably emanate from the burger, at least if you're, you know, cooking it well and you're using pretty good quality meat that's gonna be juicy. They're following all the best practices here. Like the bun tastes good too, beyond just it being toasted and things like that. And the patty tastes great. Like it's super juicy, super flavorful. It definitely tastes like fresh beef, and I would think they're using fresh beef. I guess parts of it are sort of less cooked, like maybe less cooked than ideal, but I personally don't necessarily mind that, just because, you know, I just don't mind it being slightly undercooked in some parts, makes it more juicy. So yeah, guys, honestly, this is way better than I remembered, you know, eating here when I was a kid. I mean, I remember this being just like the most mid-chain restaurant burger, definitely using like a frozen patty, using low quality bread, and you know, like I just remember this being like a very, very generic burger when I was growing up. But no, it definitely, like the quality of the food here has definitely gotten pretty solid, I would say. It's improved, at least compared to many years ago when I was a kid. So yeah, I guess we should leave some room for dessert. So we'll take a few more bites out of this, and then let's pan over to the ice cream menu and decide what we want for ice cream, since ice cream was what really put this place on the map. Like, I think they actually, I could be misremembering, I think they used to be called Friendly's Ice Cream, I think that was their original name until they dropped it and just became Friendly's, I think, but I could be wrong about that. So yeah, let's take a look. And I believe these are their milkshakes. And while their milkshakes, I remember being solid, let's just do like a standard ice cream, why don't we? I remember this guy. I remember these little, you know, these little mint chocolate sundaes that look like monsters. Maybe I'll just get one of these just for old time's sake. I mean, this is their sundae selection, and it's always been extensive. I think my go-to back in the day was this Reese's Pieces sundae. So yeah, options galore here. I mean, I don't know. Everything looks good, and I remember liking it at least back in the day, but I was also like, you know, like 8 or like 13 at most. So this is definitely French fries. Look at this, French fries. Although I guess it makes sense. I guess some people like to dip their fries in like Wendy's Frosties and stuff, right? Like some people like to dip fries in milkshakes and stuff. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense if people like that. They might as well just make a sundae covered in French fries. I guess it's smart if you think about it. Yeah, I'm guessing these are their less conventional items. Hunka chunka, whatever that is, hunka chunka fudge, lava cake. Whenever I see lava cake, I think of the scene from that movie Chef when he grabs the lava cake like from the food critics, you know, the food critics plate, and he crushes it and he goes like, lava cake is not just undercooked chocolate cake. You take a frozen piece of ganache and put it in the center so it becomes molten as it cooks. See, it's molten. You remember that? And yeah, there's the banana split. But I don't know if I had the appetite for that. That looks huge even in the picture. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish that for sure. And even that Reese's Pieces one is gonna be difficult. So, you know what? If they don't have that monster one, maybe I'll do this Reese's Pieces sundae, but otherwise, I gotta go with what I got back in the day, this monster little sundae. So let's ask if they still have this. The Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. You did the Monster Mash. Let's order. Yeah, I remember this from my childhood. So
Monster.
You guys still got that?
Yeah.
All right, Monster Mash, whatever it's called.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm excited. I feel like I've like traveled back in time. So I'm a kid at heart. All right, it has arrived. You remember this guy? I remember this from my childhood, absolutely. The Monster Mash sundae. I didn't actually know what this was called back then, but I just remember it looking cute, like a gremlin or something. And it's actually the perfect size because, you know, after all that food, I'm a little bit full, so I don't know if I have much appetite for most of the sundaes, and I wouldn't hate for most of them to go to waste and just melt. So yeah, such a clever concept. You know, they split a Reese's cup in half for ears. They got, I think those are Reese's Pieces for eyes. That's a cherry nose. Boo, not a fan of these cherries and sundaes, but I guess it serves its purpose. With mint ice cream, fudge, and some whipped cream. So nothing to it but to dive in before this guy melts. I mean, sorry Monster, I ate like half of your face. But yeah, I mean, the ice cream is pretty decent. Like, it tastes pretty good. Definitely like the mint chocolate chip flavor. It's like a hard ice cream, but it's got some smoothness to it. It's definitely pretty solid, although I think the ice cream game has significantly improved over the past 20 years. And like so many ice cream parlors and ice cream shops would blow this out of the water today. Like, it's good, but unfortunately, I think for today, this is a little bit more on the average end. Not that it's bad, it's still solid ice cream, but it's a little bit more on the average end, I would say, compared to so many of the great ice cream shops that have opened up left and right. So let's try a bite with a little bit of everything. Got some fudge, got that Reese's piece there. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of brain fog from so much that I've eaten. And then some whipped cream and delicious. I mean, it's still ice cream. It's still an ice cream sundae. Like, obviously, this is not gonna compare to like all the ice cream giants of recent years. Like, it's, you know, it's no like Van Leeuwen's or anything, but like it may not exactly be Van Leeuwen's, you know, or even Haagen-Dazs or anything like that, but it's still pretty solid. I would put this with like Baskin Robbins for sure. Definitely still really, really solid. Let's take a bite with that Reese's cup. I know this sundae is like marketed towards kids, but I still really enjoyed it. I mean, other things were not quite as I remembered. They were better, but this is pretty much one-to-one exactly as I remembered it, which is amazing. Anyways, we're gonna finish this monster sundae, and then we're gonna share final thoughts outside. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so I just finished eating at Friendly's, and yeah, I overall had a pretty good meal. I think I was pleasantly surprised by pretty much most things that I ate today, and the food was just objectively pretty good, I thought. Maybe not great, but objectively pretty good, I would say. And actually, when I first sat down, there was no one, but maybe that's just not good peak timing for this location, because it looks like there's more people now. I mean, you know, take a look at the parking lot as well. You can see that it's definitely more full now than it was earlier, which definitely surprises me because now it's 2:30. I would think that 12 o'clock is their peak lunchtime, but yeah, I guess, you know, maybe they just don't get a lot of people for lunch around here. So maybe ironically 2 and 2:30 is better because, you know, then people are getting out of school and, you know, whatnot, and maybe they're more busy at dinner time, even on the weekdays. I think what it is that I think Friendly's could stand to rebrand. They could stand to tweak their marketing. I think they're kind of like a little bit stuck in the past in many ways, you know, not just their design, not just the vibe. You know, I know they're trying to recapture that old school diner vibe, that old school ice cream ice cream parlor vibe, you know, like soda fountain vibe. But, you know, not only have those days come and passed, I just feel that Friendly's is still really pushing their ice cream. Like, they're still really pushing themselves as like an ice cream parlor, a great place for ice cream. But now I feel like great ice cream places are like a dime a dozen. Like, there's so many great ice cream places, you know, popping up everywhere. You know, there's really no reason to go to Friendly's just for ice cream, especially since, if I can be honest, their ice cream is good. Don't get me wrong, their ice cream is definitely solid ice cream, but I don't think it's great ice cream, if I can be honest. Like, I would say, compared to like places that specialize in ice cream, I would say that their ice cream is rather average. Like, I didn't think their ice cream was really exceptional and really stood out, besides the fact that, you know, like, the ice cream that I got was shaped like a little monster and kind of cute. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm never gonna go, hey, you know what? Today, let's go to Friendly's just for ice cream. So yeah, I really feel like they should no longer be like stressing their ice cream. They really need to move on from their ice cream identity. They can still serve it, you know, I'm sure, especially like the ones that are catered towards kids. Like, I'm sure there always are gonna be people who want to eat their ice cream and know them for their ice cream, but they really need to move beyond that and really brand themselves more for their food, because I really feel like their food is better than a lot of chains, like better than Applebee's and you know, and TGI Fridays and places like that. Try to move Friendly's more in that direction, or who knows, maybe even move it more in the direction of just modernizing it, you know, just make it more contemporary, make it more appealing to the newer generation, to younger people and young adults today, because I don't know, I just get the vibe that Friendly's right now is really appealing mostly to, I mean, they have a whole section on the menu for senior citizens. They're appealing to the older demographic, and they're also trying to appeal to very young kids. They really need to appeal to like people in the middle, you know, like young adults, and, you know, ideally teenagers as well. Because I mean, if you try to, you know, market to very young kids, I mean, kids are not gonna like make a choice to come here anyways, you know, especially since Friendly's is mostly in the suburbs. You know, they need their parents to bring them anyways, right? So I don't know, I feel like kids are not really a sustainable target in that respect. So I feel like they need to just find a way to reach, you know, people in the middle, like more, you know, like more young and middle-aged adults, and make it seem like more of a cool place as opposed to like a, you know, like a place stuck in the past. So anyways, hopefully Friendly's can get it done. I think there's a lot to like about Friendly's, and hopefully with the right leadership and the right business decisions, if they figure it out, I have confidence that Friendly's can survive, but I guess we will see. But anyways, these are just my opinions, of course. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys been to Friendly's before? Do you have fond memories eating at Friendly's growing up? And what do you think Friendly's should do differently to survive in the 21st century and beyond, you know, beyond 2024, 2025? What do you think Friendly's should do differently? Let me know in the comments, because great minds eat alike. And if you like this content, as always, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. And it is freezing, so yeah, let's go home. It is way too cold. So until next time, I'll see you later.